Greetings everyone and welcome back. So what we learned so far is how to draft. We started with a draft video. I shared my tier list of heroes with you, and then we went over the card tier list as well. So what would I like to address with you this time? I was also asking myself what kind of content I want to do from now on, or how we design this YouTube section. I think we just jumped from video to video. What went through my mind is now there are also some in-game mechanics, but for now I would just like to have like 2 videos a week, probably like Wednesday and Sunday. One of the videos we just try to refresh what we've learned in the other videos and go maybe this time through another draft plus deck building, because I think this is where you get your edge, your win percentage, the beautiful deck you want to play with and also want to win with. And to scratch it a little bit out, I think we just try to do another draft from time to time. You can check with yourself if you would have picked the same cards, if you had maybe the same thoughts. I will also leave you in the comment later on how the deck went on stream, because we are just going to build the deck here. I'm going to give you some of my thoughts. And I'm also very open-minded to some new ideas, because trying to improve. So what we do now, just jump into the draft, and I will try to go over it very explicit. So here we are in the draft section. I will not do the camera this time. I saw last time it blocked off a lot of the deck building process. So here we are, guys. Here we are with the first pack. I will share you my thoughts. I think Magnus is not a really good hero, so we can take that out of the question already. And if you have watched my tier list and also my card tier list, you kind of get an idea what is good here and what is bad. Thunderite pack, you want to usually have exactly one of this as late game finisher. Especially I like picking green because the green base hero is pretty solid. And with him being super solid, picking green in the beginning is pretty favorable. And what else can you talk about here? I mean, let's talk about pure card strength. It's the Legionnaire and the Thunderhide anyways. You can sometimes think about the home field advantage. But I think if we talk about strength, the Legionnaire is just a little bit better. He farms creeps for free. That's pretty awesome. So these are my picks here. Also because you very often end up in green and red. I'm not the biggest blue fan, as you guys know. The rest of the cards, they are pretty much fillers. The only thing you can think about here is do you want to pick the home field? The answer here is no, not for me. Here we go into the second section. The red cards here not being insanely good. The black cards being kind of okay, average. It's also that you can't really, these cards not really playable. And black is also a color which I very much like in draft. You have decent card quality in black. So I would just go ahead and pick these two. Keep in mind that in the first pack... Dude, what is in my throat today? In the first pack you can just very often just pick the stronger cards, because it can go everywhere, the draft. But I'm just trying to max out the powers of the colors. What do we have here? I think Bolt of Damocles is a nice finisher for blue. I would usually not pick it, but you see the rest of the choices are not exactly optimal. And Decoy is a very good filler card. He can save your green heroes from gank. And I just like him a lot if the positioning doesn't go the way in the beginning. So Bolt, I would even play it in the blue decks. It's very good in draft. Finish off your opponent out of nowhere. And Decoy here, just because we don't have any other choices. Yeah, here we got a bunch of fillers. Shield of Basilius can be played in your item deck. I very much also like picking items, especially of these, if you have like only weak cards. And Steel Strength is alright. It's in the bottom tier though, so I wouldn't rate it too high. And here you can really pick whatever. Juke can be played, sometimes the damage. The armors, you can probably pick the mail, but you usually don't even play it. And here you get Prelex. It's one of the better blue heroes, but also it's a blue hero. I'm kind of okay with it getting it from the random hero choice though. So what I always like to do here is just sort out a little bit the filler cards and keep the strong cards in there, so you have a better idea of what is actually playable in your card pool and what is not. But if you watch the previous videos, you should already know. So, what do we have here? A second Thunderhide can be played. This is not a very good pack, as you might have assumed. And Divine Intervention is actually very neat. First of all, there are not that many 5-drops, so that fits very well in. And second Thunderhide, usually not, but the rest of the choices are really meh. And I mean really meh. I will not go over the cards explicit here, guys, because there I have the other videos for this purpose. So we go with Thunderhide Intervention here. I think that should work out quite decently. Interesting. We're getting a little bit into the blue color here. I very much like Thunderstorm. It's really a good blue card, and since we got Prelex already, with Prelex being already a decent blue hero, I think we can pick it. And when we have the Martyr, I think Daxia is not good enough of a hero, by the way. I'm not the biggest fan. In some decks, he can be really neat though, even if you don't have any blink ability or if you're in green anyways, but the base hero is pretty much on Daxia level. The Martyr can be really good. Or you can pick the Stonehold Plate, although the plate is really, it's just a filler item. I'm not the biggest fan of the guard, especially don't have any gold creation. So I'll just go with the wool. Good filler, playable. Let's go ahead. Boah, these packs are really... Ooh. Zombie is a good filler creep for blue. And since there's nothing else playable, I will pick the Better Late. But I think the Better Late goes into... like, I rarely play this. Okay. So here we have Sven as a hero. Usually I really much like Sven as the one splash hero for red. The Arm the Rebellion is a really good card, especially because we are a little bit in the creep tree already. I would also very much like, especially with like the barracks, right? So I think we pick Sven here. He is definitely an above average hero. We don't have that many good red cards there, but he's definitely playable and we still need an early game hero, so I would pick him here. He's not awesome, but he's definitely alright. Pretty simple here. Just pick the filler cards, guys. Ooh, Burning Oil is a great card. You're glad to see that in the end. Burning Oil I end up putting often in my decks. Oh, this is where it starts getting a little bit harsh. Because now you need to look at your card pool. I don't think we are very much in black, and we're also not getting offered a lot of good black cards. So at this point I would just opt out black. That gives me a stronger card pool and B, easier choices. What do we want to have? So Blink Dagger is usually great as a one-off, really great, especially if you play 3-color. And yeah, I mean, we also have the Ogre Conscript being a little bit counter-synergetic with Sven's God Strength. So I'm not a super huge fan of the Conscript here. We have the Cleric, that's a top tier green creep. And we have the Arm the Rebellion, that's a top tier green card. So, hard choices. I think we want to definitely have the Blink Dagger. since we have nothing in our item deck yet, and Blink Dagger is one of the best items. So we're gonna pick this. And I think the Ogre Conscript is really out of question here because it counter synergizes with the God Strength. So we're kind of choosing here between Cleric and Armed Rebellion. We already have one arm. But since we maybe end up picking the green base hero, the Armed Rebellion might be really good. Settlement is favor seems good on paper with double Thunderhide, but I think that can be a little bit of a trap here because this is very much I pick this as a filler, but if I have other good choices, I pick the other good choices. Like these are top tier green cards, the Arm and the Cleric. It's a very close call here though. I think since you already have one Armed Rebellion and I rate Cleric also a little bit higher, standalone, I will pick the Cleric here. Very good card. The Cleric is insane. So this is how we go. Now we're getting offered good black cards. It's a little bit sad. I will not pick the black cards here. Sticking to my line. That's very important. You should not just smash around with the colors. That will make you very sad in the end. Hellbear Crippler is actually playable with Sven as early game hero, and Stars Line could be playable if you pick up like an Emissary or a Time of Triumph. Yeah. Getting Kanna. Boah. Boah. Okay. Kanna. Now I would have liked to pick the Armed Rebellion. This is getting an interesting draft. I usually don't end up picking blue, but look at the other choices here. Kanna. Ah, interesting. She would actually fit into the deck. With the Divine Intervention is extremely strong with Kanna. Armed Rebellion is extremely strong with Kanna. I don't rate her that high. But we are already kind of in blue. And we will need to play 2 blue heroes, I think. Because a single splash blue with Prelex, you're just asking for her to get ganked. She's pickable. Definitely. And I would usually not pick her, I think. But since we don't get any other choices, I would do it here. Don't forget that Kanna also synergizes with the zombies, because they will be damaged after they got killed the first time, so yeah. I think she's actually a decent hero here, especially because the signature card Prey on the Weak produces a lot of creeps. These are only filler picks here. You can pick the Instigator, can be played with Sven, and the Ring can also be sometimes played. I will put them into the lower tier list though. And here you can just pick the items because we don't play black. And these are also just fillers. So let's clean up our deck from the filler cards. And yeah, now we get a better idea what we're actually playing with. We have a lot of blue, but we also have 2 blue heroes, that's good. And we have a little bit of red. The good thing is we don't really have base heroes yet, that's sweet. So let us look at some cards here. Urza is just on base hero level, you usually don't want to play with him. The Sanctum is very playable, especially because blue cards end up costing a little bit more. So I'm a very big fan of the Sanctum if you're already in blue. We will not pick black as discussed, and I would also rate the Decoy higher than the Martyr. Single-handedly because of the reasons repositioning your green heroes is very valuable. So that's an easy pick here, I think. It would only be Wool Martyr versus Decoy, but not in this case. Yeah, the rest is not really playable. Pillager is great. Cunning Plan is great. This is actually harder. This is a harder choice. Yeah. Very interesting. We don't pick black. I would pick Pillager. I really like him because the red heroes end up very often winning the lane, especially Sven. That makes it a huge threat. Also synergizes with Armed Rebellion and Divine Intervention. That's huge. And when we have the cloak, which is really nice if you have weak black heroes. Like a cloak on a prelix is insane. But the cunning plan to save a prelix in the beginning is also very, very, very good. Cunning plan is a really, really good blue card. And it's very close between cloak and cunning plan. But I think in this case the cunning plan very often has the edge over that, so I would pick it here. Zeus, yeah. Yeah, interesting. Zeus with the Sanctum as well. This might be a fancy deck here. I'm just asking myself the questions because I would maybe need to play double green, you know? I mean, you have to ask yourself following questions here. This is a very hard pick, by the way. You have to ask yourself the following questions. Can you afford to play triple blue? Do you have a strong enough early heroes? We have Sven, that's great. And can you also afford to play only one green hero, which is probably a no. Yeah, it's probably a no. Yeah. I think I will not pick him here. We have our blue tree already. I think the thing is, especially with cards like Armed Rebellion, Divine Intervention, Thunderhide Pack, you want these cards to be played on flexible lanes. We have the Blink Dagger that would speak for picking the Zeus. But yeah. The question is also if you want to play double Thunderhide. That might not even be the reason. Triple blue, yeah. I mean, we have the early game as with Sven at the moment, and Kanna's also a resilient blue hero. So the Thunder God's Wraths can really strike. He also synergizes hugely with the Prey on the Weak. So we would have triple blue, splash green, splash red. Splashing red is always good, because red heroes are very resilient. I think he's pickable. Especially because we got already 2 blues in our deck. But yeah, this is a very, very tough choice. What I would go with here is probably the Arcane Assault then and Zeus. If you get it offered already. We want to really get hands on every blue card we can get now. Especially if there are spells that make Zeus a lot stronger. We can probably pick the Martyr here. These are just fillers. As before, just fill up. Oh wow, Foresight, that's really good. Wow, and that is exactly what we needed. A good green hero. Perfect. Let's clean up the fillers a little bit. Lycan is really strong here. That's quite a big high roll. You definitely pick him here. I don't think we could ask for a better green hero here. The next choice is a little bit tougher. With Lycan bringing a lot of like, okay, let's talk about what cards are pickable here. Actually, the Celemenis is not even half bad with that expensive of a deck. Decoy we already have 2. They will also be great with the Lycan. I think the Foresight is a very decent pick here, especially with triple blue. Or you can pick the Cleric. But keep in mind we don't really want to play too many green cards because we can only support them with 1 green hero. So that's something you have to keep in mind. The blue cards are getting supported by Zeus, so I would go with the Foresight here. I think our green tree is pretty much full here. I would, from here on, look at our color distribution. If you don't look at that, you might be in very big trouble, because you just can't play down your cards, and if Lycan dies and we have too many green cards, we pretty much lose. Yeah. Friendly Fire. insane blue card. Messenger Rookery, good blue card. You can play it. Or the Defensive Bloom, it's also a good card. But I think we have our green tree is already full. So yeah, let's just go ahead, pick the Rookery. It's a filler card for me now. I don't know if I play it. Ooh, the Armed Rebellion will definitely be picked though. Since we don't have any good other picks when the green ones, we might as well just increase our water. These are really, really good. The Armed Rebellion with the Kanna is really threatening. You can even go for Ancient Races here. Now we get the tree and, well, the Lycan does the job. It's fine. We can just fill our cards out here. Might as well remove them quickly. Yeah. Kind of interesting here, because we could even just play double green, triple blue. Not sure if I want to do that though. Might be possible. We will talk about that now. So this is our deck. We have a lot of high quality cards. I'm a big fan of that. Buying Time will not be played. This will also not be played. Let's first do the simple part, which are the items. You want to play 3 cloaks, 3 traveler short swords, and I don't like any of these items too much, so I will just fill up my deck with leather armors. It also gives me a higher likelihood to get the blink dagger. So let's just do this. So the item deck is done. And now it gets interesting. I mean, we don't play black. What we have to evaluate is it worth to play red? Yeah. Hero deployment. Lycan definitely has to come first. I like having Kanna second, because you don't want her to be stranded on the right lane. You want to have her on the left lane usually. You can also play Sue second if you want, but Kanna second empowers the arms. I have to tell you guys, I think with our tree here, you definitely want to cut the Sven. Because the green and the blue will synergize very well together. We have a lot of green cards, and yeah, this is the turning point. Like, our red tree is really weak, so you definitely cut the Sven here. It's a hard decision, but I think it's the right decision. So cut the red here out. That gives us so much more flexibility with our deck. And Sven is really not necessary. And now we can just even run the Stars Align eventually, because we have a very high-end deck. If you look at our curve. We have 5 more cards to fill out, that should be way easier if you play dual color. Arcane Assault is definitely playable. The Better Lates are also very playable with triple blue. So let's do this. Rookery is not great. It's okay-ish. We can definitely drop in 1 Stars Align, synergizes with the Sanctum, the Thunder Gods, and the Thunder Heights. So that's a good card to have here. We also have a lot of card draw to back that up. And now I would just fill up with an Arcane Assault probably. And yeah, we have 18 green cards for 2 green heroes. That's definitely enough. So I think we just play the Rookery here as filler. Or we drop in a black Smeevil. Smeevil also being really good with these 2 heroes, but we are very full on the 4 slot already. So I would go with the blue card here. Sure. And here we have our deck. Again, I think this will do well. I will report you guys later how this went. And I hope I could tell you some things about the draft here. So let's see how this goes. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video very much. Give me further input how you would like to have the next videos. And I think these drafting go through videos can help you guys a lot. Just don't just watch them. When I did that myself, I always like pausing the video, see do I do the same picks, and yeah, deck building here is very complicated. This was actually very hard to draft. I hope I could help you guys out at least a little bit, and I hope I will also see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a nice day.